This and it really stuck out in my mind, some of the things that they promised. Promised to train me, give me a skill set that I didn't have, even promised to help train me to become a manager, something that I knew I really wanted to do. And they promised that there was no seniority, that no matter what, I would have a chance to get promoted. And I was kind of like that crusty candidate at that point, where I was really skeptical of anything that I came across. I really didn't believe what the job description was talking about, or the promise of being promoted, promise of being trained. But I really wanted those things, so I applied anyway, and I decided just to do my own research. And this is I like telling the story because I think it's really funny how it ended up working out. Part of my research, I went on the company website, and at the time of the company website, they had pictures posted of people being promoted to a manager's position. And as I went through those pictures, I actually saw a familiar face. Now, my senior year of college, I had one of the party houses off campus. I totally had a case of senioritis. I was pretty much overstudying hard, and I just wanted to have a good time. And so Thirsty Thursdays, Friday nights, sloppy Saturdays, I had people over my place all the time. And there's just one Thursday night that sticks out in my mind so clearly, where I was just playing beer pong with my buddies, and there's a knock on my front door. I open it up, there's this actually 3 of them, baby-faced freshmen standing in my stairwell. One of the top step looks at me, he's like, "Hey man, I know you're having a party. Can we please come in? I got a backpack full of beer. He had paid some senior $30 for 30 cans of Natty Ice. My least favorite beer ever. But, when you're a freshman, you can't really be that picky, I guess. So he came into the party. He started selling his beer at my party to you for $3. His name was Matt Johnson. And he and I actually ended up becoming pretty good friends. So much so that he was over my place all the time. My friends and I ended up nicknaming him Pickles. And long story short, that baby-faced freshman was one of the people I saw on the company website getting promoted to a manager's position. So Pickles had gotten promoted. We had fallen out of touch after school, so I hit him up on Facebook and I asked him what the job was all about. And the biggest thing that stuck out in my mind there are 2 things. He told me he was making $2,000 a week, so close to $100,000 a year, and that he had gotten promoted in 1 year and 2 weeks. So I was like, all right, the baby-faced freshman that I nicknamed Pickles is making $100K a year. I can totally help my family out by doing that. And then he got promoted in a year and 2 weeks. Sweet, I'm going to do this. So I came in and I interviewed with a company. I interviewed in Woburn, Massachusetts. They're working on behalf of Verizon Fios. And the manager that interviewed me was Jason Goldberg, the manager that promoted Kristen. And I started working with him. Pretty sure he didn't like me from the jump because I tried to impress him by telling him I knew Pickles. But he gave me an opportunity, and it was one that I really valued. And I came into the company and I got promoted within 3 days from an entry-level position to an account manager's position. But that was kind of the end of my immediate success. So I got promoted in 3 days to an account manager's position, and that's where I really kind of shut off as an account, so to speak. Growing up, I was a natural athlete. I naturally did well in school, and here I am. I joined this company, and I got promoted in 3 days. I was on top of the world. I thought I knew it all, and I was ready to get promoted to manager in like 7 months. But when someone loses that student mentality, it's usually to their detriment, and it totally was for me. Where I didn't necessarily receive the coaching of my mentors and look to apply it. So I really, when someone does that, it never really hurts the manager. It really just hurts themselves. So that's really all I did was, put myself in a poor position where I wouldn't be able to succeed. Some of the things that I struggled with was being consistent in the field. Really just learning how to always have a positive attitude, be that enthusiastic person that people wanted to talk to. As I tried to develop my skill set to be a manager or a leader within a company, I struggled at building relationships. I don't necessarily like to emote or share my story, and I think in a lot of ways that kept people from knowing who I actually was. So my guys didn't really understand, what drove me. I had that difficulty, talking about my goals. So it really just put me in a bad position to succeed. I would find ways to not be accountable, make excuses for why I wasn't growing. I would blame it on everyone else but myself. So some of the pivotal moments in my career that really helped me turn around, and some of it just really cool stuff. I think that were kind of stepping stones along the way. Pretty shortly after I got promoted, Jason Goldberg still saw me as one of his top guys, so he invited me to a meet and greet with Matt Osborne, who is a national consultant, consults our office among others, and this is a big deal because as me, Jason, and 2-3 other people are going to meet this consultant. So we went to this really schwiggity swag hotel in Boston to meet with this consultant, but had never met and just heard a lot about, and he didn't show up. One of his kids got sick or something, so we were left sitting in the hotel bar waiting for him to show up. And Jason kind of felt bad for us, so he said, "All right, guys, let's just head back to the office, and we'll go up and we'll grab drinks again." And we did that, and Jason took that moment to really talk to us about sort of his vision. And it was really a big stepping point for me where I understood how much that vision and breathing really means to me. Where he talked about how in the future he envisioned himself still being a manager, but every single one of us being a manager as well. So there are 3 people sitting there with him that he's shared that vision with. Was myself, this guy named Mondo, who's about to get promoted by Jason out in California, and then James Grant, who's a manager over in Colorado Springs. So that day we made a pact, a commitment, so to speak, that we were all going to get to management high water. And for the longest time, I was the only one who hadn't followed through yet. So James got promoted, Jason was still a manager, Mambo was an assistant manager getting ready to get promoted, and I was still stuck in accounting. Well, today has kind of been the fulfillment of that path where, Mambo's still an assistant manager and I'm actually getting promoted before. All right? It's just, today is really cool because it's finally the first time where we can actually talk about that pact being fulfilled, so to speak, because everyone's made it. Another big moment in my career was to move to Colorado. Again, Jason, I still don't necessarily know why, saw something in me, felt like I was one of the top guys that he wanted to move with him to Colorado to help open a new office there. And it was an awesome opportunity. I was, going to automatically be one of the top people in the office, someone that he needed to rely upon to help, develop the office, train other people. So I was really excited about it, and it was really a great opportunity for me to learn. But that was kind of like just a prelude to what was going to be an even bigger moment for me, and that was meeting Kristen. So she already kind of stole my story about that first meeting. And I would say church to everything she said, where I didn't really like her. So when you're sitting in the lobby trying to talk to everyone who's there for an interview, it's realistically your job to just make small talk, build a relationship with them. And there were 6 other people that were willing to talk to me, answer some very basic questions, like where are you from? Where does your family live? What do they do? And she wouldn't say a word. So, in the back of my mind, I was thinking maybe she's just really nervous or she's a complete bitch.
We're going to go with option B immediately.
But Kristen, very shortly that opinion changed. It didn't really last for very long. Because I saw Kristen come in and she really took off running. Where for me, I initially resented her success because she was getting a lot of praise, adulation, and recognition from Jason, my manager, something that I was envious of. I wanted for myself, but I realized that she was doing all the right things and wasn't stopping. She was just going to keep on trucking, and I had a lot of respect for that. It actually meant a lot to me eventually because she is showing such a good example for everyone in the office. She was exactly what you wanted to do. And we started to become friends. I saw her get promoted very quickly to an assistant manager's position. Very quickly after that, earned the opportunity to be promoted to a manager's position. The opportunity to move here to Delaware and open this office. And initially I didn't really consider the move, but in the back of my mind I was thinking maybe it would be a good opportunity. By that point I had really started to develop a team. I had 7 people on my team a week before I moved with Kristen, but I just didn't necessarily feel like I was ready for that next step. And I wanted to grow a little bit more. I knew that Kristen being a rookie manager, if I moved with her, I could see a really cool office open up. I could learn from the experience of someone who had never done it before. I could be her right-hand man. And with the respect that I had developed for Kristen at that point, I knew that we could work together. So that was really what made me decide that it was an awesome opportunity to move with Kristen. At the time, I don't think I realized what it would do. So, I totally saw Kristen as a business partner at that point, but I didn't necessarily see her or necessarily anyone I moved with as a family. So we ended up moving to Delaware, and I still had a lot of growth that I needed to take at that point. And really, the next stepping point in time that I think I'd point back to was about a year ago. I think it was August of last year, where Jason Goldberg came out here and he visited us, and still struggling to build a team to really learn how to develop other people. And Jason came in, and one of the first things he did was he walked all of us leaders in this room. And he was like, "You're not leaving until you write down what this business really means to you. I don't want the fucking bullshit that everyone says in high roller speeches. I want to know really why you would care if I fired you tonight. It's your job to prove to me why you don't deserve to be fired." Now, I already told you guys how uncomfortable telling my story is. But that was the first time that I really felt compelled to do that, where I wrote out in black and white what this job really meant for me and for my family. I don't even know if Jason or Kristen knew the story of that.
Still got it.
Yep, she has it hidden away somewhere. But it really made me realize at that point why this job was so important to me in black and white. But it also kind of made, Jason pulled me aside right afterwards. He was like, "Okay, cool. I didn't really know this about you. I know why you're motivated, but you're fucking up because you don't talk about this. Not a single person in the office knows. So no one understands why it's important. That's why no one cares about seeing you grow or investing the time to be here and work with me." So that was the first time that I really understood the need to look at myself, be accountable, and to really share my goals and what motivated me. The second turning point for me was a Baltimore Leaders Conference this past November, where I started to build a team again. By that point, I saw the very real possibility that I could get promoted to an assistant manager's position with a little bit more hard work. But I didn't really necessarily know what it would take to get over that hump. And I walked away from the Leaders
conference being really motivated.